some men say that they feel like they're falling behind, but falling behind who? And what? And is the standard you set even yours? These are a lot of things I had to ask myself over the years, and I'm sure you've asked yourself, and you've wondered if you're doing the right thing and if you need to do more. Some guys, maybe they use this for motivation to keep pushing themselves harder. Maybe they compare themselves to other men who struggle, who don't make the process seem so effortless. And so by comparing themselves to these men, maybe they feel good about themselves. Whatever the case may be, the point is you should be living the life that you want to live, not the life you feel you have to live to impress others or to get approval from anyone else. Now, you do have to do the things you have to do, but you gotta wanna do the things you have to do. Too many men are going through the motions and doing the things they think others will approve of, or doing things they think will get them respect or get them attention from women. And they struggle with that. It doesn't really work, right? They struggle with friends, they struggle with women. And the problem is because they're probably not doing what they want to do. And you show that in your body language, it comes out. People know when you're being performative, they know when you're being fake. They know when you're fishing for emotional gratitude. People can see through this. You have a guilty conscience when you act this way, when you behave this way. This is the reason why a lot of men get aggressive and demand validation and respect from others. They're kind of placing themselves on a high horse and they don't realize how everyone else sees them. Maybe they don't care. They say they don't care anyway. But I think the important part is that we all remember to do the things we want to do. Now, if doing what you want to do is being irresponsible, you're going to deal with the repercussions of that. You're going to deal with the struggles that come along with making bad decisions and not prioritizing responsibilities. But at the end of the day, if you're still not doing what you want to do, you're not going to be happy. And maybe if you rearrange your priorities, you might feel happier about doing the things that need to be done. You might not feel so bad. You know, we're all in different phases in life. We're all in different places at different times, different ages, different life experiences that put us in different positions at different times in life. We don't really have a good reason or good justification to criticize really anyone, no matter what we think of them. And we also don't have a right to compare ourselves to anyone, no matter what we think of them. We don't know what they've been through. We don't know if they're ahead of us, if they're behind us. We don't know. You don't know. Live and let live. You need to make decisions that are best for you, that are good for you and the people around you. I've watched a lot of men live a life that they weren't happy about. They were proud of, but they weren't happy about. I watch a lot of women do the same thing. And my heart breaks for these people because I know that deep down inside, they wish that they lived a different life. They wish that they had the courage, the confidence to do what they really wanted to do instead of constantly seeking validation and approval from people they don't even respect. You got to ask yourself, if you're comparing yourself to anyone else, what is the reason for that? What is the purpose of you doing that? Is it because you want the other person to do better? Is it because you believe in them and you know that they can perform better than what they're doing? Are you comparing yourself to them to feel better about where you're at in life? I feel like that's what the reason why a lot of us do compare ourselves to anyone else, right? It's kind of confirmation that we've done good, right? If we criticize somebody else, it's a way of patting ourselves on the back and saying, hey, we made a better decision. We did it better than this person is doing. That's what we do. That's what we do. I don't know why people do that, but we do that. And understanding that helps a lot too. When people criticize me or compare themselves to me, it goes in one or not the other. I don't care. I don't know where that person is in their life. They don't know where I've been, where I'm going. It doesn't matter. You got to see people for what they are. When they're struggling, when they're coping, when they're lashing out and criticizing you or trying to compare themselves to you or compare you to them, that's an internal issue. It has nothing to do with you. There's nothing you can do to fix it. That's not your problem. It's not your responsibility to figure them out or to help them out or to give them good advice or anything. It's not your responsibility to get upset or offended. You gotta let it go in one ear and out the other. You gotta focus on you. On my last video, I talked about having friends, and I think a big part of the reason why I don't have friends is because I don't feel obligated to maintain a friendship. I don't feel obligated to put in effort. I know that friendships are just temporary, and I'm okay with that. And the reason why I'm okay with that is because I think a lot of friends use each other. I think a lot of friends do that. Guys and women, they do the same thing. Either we use a friend for some company when we're bored, or to listen to us when we have no one to talk to, or they use us. They're comparing themselves to their friend. Well, he does this, he does that. Either they want justification to criticize you and hate you, or they want to have justification for criticizing you to feel better about themselves. And I know not all friendships are based on just that. There's a lot more to friendships, but at some point, eventually, that part comes out. Eventually it does. It happens. We've all experienced it. We know what that's like. You know what I'm saying is true. And so for me, I'd rather just enjoy small talk with people. I enjoy meeting people out in the street and sharing a few minutes with them and having a good conversation with them and seeing them in their element and getting the real them in the moment. I enjoy that. I struggle with building long-term friendships because it's so much of a responsibility, right? It feels like it's a burden. And so I don't really like investing into real friendships anymore. I'm just getting too old. I don't have the patience for it. And in doing that, I've realized a lot of the things that I'm saying. I've realized that not very many friendships are real. A lot of times people find you and you find them when you need each other, not when you really want to be around each other. And that just creates a future relationship of where you kind of use each other and take advantage of each other and you play games with each other. And I just don't really enjoy any of that.